So today I'm going to take you through the ultimate B2B outbound sales checklist to make sure that you can get your outbound sales system absolutely cranking, generating leads, appointments, qualified appointments, everything there that's ultimately going to help you to get in front of the right prospects and sell them into your product or service. So let's dive in and I'll step you through step by step the key things that I always look at, whether I'm starting from scratch or whether I'm redefining a current outbound lead generation campaign and trying to get it better. First and foremost, we start off with our target market. Now, the key things that I look at here is, I'll rate this out of 10 generally. Is this specific enough? Do we understand who they are, what industry they're in, who those people are inside a business? Is that clearly defined to the point that, hey, I can talk directly to that? Now, what I find is most people here, most B2B coaches, consultants do this reasonably okay. I'd give them maybe a 5 or a 6. But where they can get even more clear and narrow focused up at around it and me rating them a 9 or a 10, that's what's going to deliver the value. So let me define this. Now, you might say, okay, I'm a business coach for service-based industries. Now, if you go to one step further and go, I'm a business coach for trade-based businesses, that's a lot more powerful. You can get a lot more specific with the value that you're delivering within what you do, but then also how you articulate that directly to that target market. Something to be aware of there. Next thing we have there is the offer. Now, when we know our target market, we know their pains and problems, we can articulate an offer that's going to help them to alleviate and overcome those problems. Therefore, that's what we're trying to do here, is build a really strong offer that then we can communicate that. Then it's looking at client results. Now, when we look at our client results, I always like to look at these and maybe use these in scripts as well, but also helps us to articulate sometimes who our key target market is and what our offer should be as well, because our results for our client testimonials will tell us exactly the outcomes that we're delivering and for whom. That's what I would like to have. This one's not essential, but it helps to visually see where should we be focusing our marketing efforts. When we take these three things together, the key thing that we need to be getting out of this is a script delivering our results, our offer directly to those target markets in an outbound way. So obviously this is going to be either email, LinkedIn, cold calling, but this script delivers these three things succinctly and talks directly to that target market. Now, it's great when we have a really good script, but number one thing is, once we've got that script, it's how that's delivered. In other words, if we're doing cold calling, for example, this is the one that needs to be really monitored and making sure that this script is delivered as close as possible to as it is written. When callers start to put their own spin on things, that's fine, but it needs to not detract from anything that's within that script. Let me say that a different way. They need to understand the value proposition, not over-promise anything there, and make it really clear around the key points of difference within our offer. So it doesn't have to be verbatim within this script, but the caller needs to clearly understand and articulate the key value proposition, and obviously they need to qualify as well at this point. Now, if they can't do that, you need to put a new caller in, or you train them up more. So that's the thing, these are the checklists that are going to generate you interest. The thing that turns this interest into an attended high quality lead is the systems leading from this point of interest through to the sales call. These are emails, videos, SMSs going out, how you automate as much of that sales pipeline as possible leading to and post sales call that's ultimately going to lead to the sale. And that's really key. This stuff is important. You get this right off the bat. Once you've got this right, you need to be supported by strong systems here. If you're just sending a lead through on an Excel spreadsheet or through an email and you're not considering this, then ultimately there's going to be so much opportunity lost out of the hard work you've done here. So systems, these are CRMs, emails, SMSs, everything that sort of ties this together and can give the salesperson a way to manage that lead and prospect through that journey as well. Hope that helps. Really think through this, get this in place, and this is what's going to build you a really strong outbound lead generation campaign.